people or jealous studio executives. He hadn't seemed to consider that these hang-ups were more probably curious people calling the RSVP number he'd recently plastered on a billboard in the middle of Hollywood. Tommy and I went inside to grab the last of the boxes. His house was practically empty. "I wasn't going to tell you," he said, "but I have new house now, in very exclusive neighborhood."
Round one.
Tommy also told me that he'd closed all of his street fashion stores and bought a building in Los Angeles. He wanted to create his own private Paramount Studios. We were in the limo by 5:30 p.m. Tommy taped room posters on each window before climbing aboard. The limo rolled out of Tommy's driveway and started heading in the opposite direction of the theater, over Laurel Canyon toward the valley. "Where are we going?" I asked. Tommy poured a can of Red Bull into a champagne glass.
Round two.
"We have very exclusive guests coming," he told me, "so behave yourself." Tommy was anxious and grew increasingly so, taking more frequent sips of Red Bull the closer we got to the valley. He clearly wanted to impress his mystery guests. The limo turned onto Magnolia Boulevard and made a right into a small private lane before stopping in the driveway of a handsome townhouse. Two women of a certain age, one blonde and one redheaded, both done up in old-school red carpet-ready attire, emerged. Tommy got out of the limo and waited for them doorside. Both women were overtaken with excitement at the sight of Tommy, hugging and kissing him. As the women ducked into the limo, Tommy introduced us. Karen, the blonde and older of the two, was the widow of director Stanley Kramer, who was most famous for directing Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, and giving Marlon Brando his first film role in The Men. The other woman was Karen and Stanley's daughter, Kat, who'd been named after her godmother, Katharine Hepburn. As the limo headed back toward Hollywood, Kat, who was wearing an impressively red hat, began telling me all about the fun she'd had with Tommy over the last few months. "I introduced Tommy to De Niro and Faye Dunaway," she said, and laughed. "I don't think he knew who they were at first." I later found out that Kat was referring to an AFI tribute to Robert De Niro that she'd attended with Tommy. I had no idea how they'd met, but found the pairing interesting nonetheless. I knew Tommy's dream had always been to be like Brando, and here he was, on the way to his first movie's premiere with the widow and daughter of the director who gave Brando his start. It was a long shot connection, but to Tommy this must have seemed like fate. Tommy, whose nerves had finally calmed, told the driver to turn onto Hollywood Boulevard for an impromptu pit stop in front of Grauman's Chinese Theater. As the limo idled, Tommy grabbed an armful of room paraphernalia, sprung up through the sunroof, and began shouting, "Hey everyone, you're invited!" Then he started launching room t-shirts and invites to anyone and everyone passing by. Soon enough, a crowd of excited tourists had gathered around the limo. Tommy was now swinging a room t-shirt in a helicopter motion above his head, saying, "Come to feature movie premiere!" The limo, mercifully, started moving, and Tommy threw the t-shirt into the crowd. "You're all invited!" He descended back into the limo, smiling. "Okay," he told the driver, "time to go to the Fairfax." Tommy got his publicist on the phone. "Ed," he said, "I need you to make sure Spotlight is shining. Make sure there's a big line out front, lots of people. We want a line or we don't pull up." Tommy had told his publicity team to fill every seat in the theater. Okay, I thought, let's assume they did that. The thought of Tommy sitting among an audience expecting to be shown a serious drama was not, to say the least, a comforting one.
Get ready for the next battle.
The limo pulled up to the theater, but in Tommy's mind, there weren't enough people outside to merit stopping. So we went around the block. It was a busy Friday evening. This was a serious commitment to traffic endurance. We passed